Hello, this is a trigger warning for today's episode. At the timestamp you see on screen is when I start to talk about suicide. So if that is too triggering for you, you can skip that part or you can just skip this episode altogether. Thank you, and please do what you need to do. Do what's best for you. Hello and welcome to It's Me, Oddly. If you haven't guessed, it's me, Oddly. Thank you for tuning in. So, where do we begin? Honestly, I'm not 100% sure. Um, but as they say, it's best to start at the beginning. I feel like I haven't recorded in 7,000 years. Hyperbolic? Maybe. But that's what it feels like. It just feels like it's been a long time and I feel a little naked. I feel, what's the word I'm looking for? I feel just exposed. Last week was, rough. I felt like I was, I don't know, icky. I felt icky, and it was a rough week because there was a bunch of other stuff going on in my personal life. Good and bad. So, well, not bad, but tedious, I'll say. So, an episode didn't go up last week, and I was slightly bummed about it because it just felt like there wasn't room for me in my own life. And I hate feeling like that because I've kind of felt like that my whole life. So, it put me in a bad funk. One I didn't really realize I was in until about an hour ago. So, hey, that's kind of why I'm not too sure of what I'm gonna say because originally I was gonna talk about how lost I felt and why I may feel lost. But I realize I'm not lost, not necessarily. It's more of I haven't been taking care of myself, especially in the small ways that are really important. I'm I'm a bit of a mess. I've been very bad at taking my medicine and doing personal self-care things and overall not doing the best. And it's almost like I've been avoiding myself, which is weird. I'm not really sure why. I've just been kind of You know what? I won't say that I don't know why because I believe that I do. I think that healing got a little too scary. I think getting better and being better got too scary. And because of that, I put myself on the back burner. I slipped back into old habits that were familiar, though they are destructive. I chose what was easy and comfortable over what was uncomfortable but necessary. And the thing about that is, you lose in the long run if you don't choose you, if you don't choose the work. You know, of course, everyone feels like that when they start their healing journey and trying to be better versions of themselves and healing those hurt parts of themselves. But it turned into me wanting to kind of run away. I think it's very interesting that though I've been doing this for a while, on and off for what feels like my whole life, but more intensively the past 2 years. I've been really putting in the work to heal those hurt parts of me because I was tired of feeling like crap and hating myself and seeing the world in such a negative light. I knew that there was joy and brightness in the world. I just didn't know where to find it. And I certainly couldn't find it in myself, so I had to do some digging and some removing and getting rid of toxic ideas that were only harming me and not helping me. So, and that's hard. But you would think that I'd be used to that by now because I've been doing it for so long. But what I believe is that it got too unfamiliar for me. It became too unknown. And the unknown is always scary, isn't it? Trying to move around in the dark with just a flashlight is kind of creepy and spooky and doesn't feel good. And all the other synonyms that belong to that. It just sucks. And it sucks even more when you feel like you're by yourself. Now I know that I have some good people in my corner. I'm aware, but I feel that I can't bring every little bitty thing to them. When one, they have their own lives, and two, sometimes there are just some things that I feel I have to do on my own. I might talk about it after I'm done going through it, after I've processed it the way I need to, and done the work that I need to unpack it and deal with it. But I don't want to bring all the problems to someone else before I've even figured out what the problem is, what it means, where it came from. You know, like sometimes I just want to understand what what's going on with me before I talk about it with anyone else. And usually that means that I'm going to talk about it with someone else after I've already figured it out. Because that's just the kind of person I am. That's what I feel is necessary for me from time to time. I do know that sometimes it comes from a place of some wounds that are like, that feel that I'm a burden when I'm not. And I try to combat that, and I try to remind myself that I am not a burden and my existence is important and beautiful and special, and I have every right to be here. I have every right to take up space. Sometimes it's less about feeling like a burden and more of, I feel that right now you have enough on your plate and I don't want to add to that. And I think now that I say it, it's probably coming from the same place in a lot of ways. Because if a friend told me that, I think it's interesting that I'm unpacking this as I speak. But then again, like I said, this really isn't all that planned. But yeah, if a friend told me that exact same thing, I'd be like, hey, like, no, dude, like, you can talk to me. Like, come to me, tell me, hey, I have this thing and I want to talk to you about it. It's pretty heavy. Can I talk to you? I'd be like, hey, yeah, you can talk to me. I know I'm also going through stuff, but that's okay. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't say that in the moment, but like that, I'd be thinking that, like, you don't have to hide from me just because I have a life too, and things are going on in my life too. We can talk to each other. That is why we have friendship, because friendship isn't just somebody that you can kiki with, that you can crack jokes with. Friendship should be about community, having people in your corner. In some ways, family, or family outside of your family. Because family doesn't have to end at blood. Ooh, hold on. Let's start over. Because family does not have to end at bloodline. You can choose family. You can choose the people that you want in your life. If people you are blood related to make you feel some type of way that you don't like, they don't have to be in your life. If you have people who you aren't related to biologically, but you feel a kinship with them, you see that though I'm not related to you, I relate to you. That can be family. And I know, depending on person to person, there's nuance to those conversations and there's nuance to those experiences. But speaking from what I feel and what I know, family doesn't have to look like just one thing. Especially growing up with my idea of family. I didn't grow up with the nuclear family of mom and pop and 2.5 kids and little spot in a white picket fence community or whatever the heck. That wasn't my reality. My grandmother raised me. My auntie raised me. My great grandmother raised me. And I've had a different experience than the experience that people quote unquote expect for most people to have. A family's gonna look different for everyone based on whatever factors. So why can't that extend outside of a bloodline? I'm not gonna lie, I have lost track of my original thought. But if I'm not mistaken, my original thought was about, hey, you can talk to me. But yeah, like, if a friend were to say, hey, I don't feel like I can tell you things only because I don't want to overwhelm you, I'd be like, don't even worry about that, my dude. Let me know what's going on with you because I care about you and I love you. Now, if you need to set a boundary, set a boundary. Like, I know you want to talk, but at this moment, I do not have the mental capacity to have this conversation. I'm sorry about that, but I need some time. I'll let you know, or you could come back at a later time, something like that. And I know that sounds real clinical the way I'm saying it, but with the people that you consider close to you, people you consider family even, like you should know how to tell them what you want to tell them. And if they feel some type of way about it, fuck them, honestly. Excuse my tongue. But, like you don't need that. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, you don't need that. You don't need that type of energy in your life. Just like somebody get mad at you because you need space, because you need time, because you can't handle having that conversation right now. I've had people get mad at me like that. Like, okay, well, I hear what you're saying about what you're talking about. And it wasn't even like, a conversation about something personal in their life. They just telling me like this gory story about something that happened to this, that, and this type of person. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that story, but I don't want to hear that. I can't handle hearing that right now. And I can understand from the other perspective it to feel like you're not being heard, but understand from the person who listening. Like if I don't have to hear it, I don't want to. And I'm sure I've been that person telling people stuff they don't want to hear, no matter what type of whatever type of thing I'm talking about, you know. But you could still, talk to me. Let me know something going on because I want to look out for you and I care about you. You know what I mean? So for me to be like, well, I don't want to talk to my people about what I'm going through because I don't want to burden them. Or see, it really did come back to that. But that's essentially what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to put that on your plate. I don't want to burden you. That's just another way of saying it when you think about it. In a lot of ways, that's not fitted in when you think about it. I'm saying that a lot. I'm hearing it. But no, I want you to think about it for real. I'm not saying it for no reason. Like for real, sit there and think about it. Pause the little podcast or whatever. Really sit and think about it. Like sit with that thought. Like, do you trust them? These people that you call family, sister, brother, sibling, mama, uncle, brother, whatever you call these people in your life that you care about and love, and that's your people. Like, do you trust them enough to tell them what you need to tell them or what you need to get off your chest? And if you say yeah, then why feel like that? You're not a burden. Not to people that love and care about you. And I know it may feel like that because of conditioning that we've all had to deal with, our whole life, telling us that we not this and we not that and we'll never be whatever. But that stuff not true. It's really not. You are somebody. You are somebody. There's no other way for me to put that. You have importance. You have value. So the things you feel, the things you experience, what you think about, all of it is valid because it's yours. It's you. It's a part of you. And you, yes, you are important. I'm not gonna lie, I think I'm talking to myself a little bit on that one. I needed that reminder. I am important. I am somebody. And I shouldn't be running around here acting like I'm not. If I really want to be real about it, I'm the shit. Like, no, really. I really believe that. I truly, truly believe that. And I don't feel the need to humble myself in any way, shape, or form. I think I'm really great. I really do. And you should think that about yourself too. Because what's holding you back from that? I'm not saying become a conceited asshole and don't worry about other people, but you should realize your value and your worth. Because if you don't, people will abuse that and take advantage of that and use that against you. People will see that you don't see your own value and violate your boundaries, violate your space. They're going to disrespect you because essentially you don't respect yourself. Like, I don't mean to be harsh about it. Or maybe I do. I don't know. But it is what it is. Like, you gotta realize your worth and your value. Because if you don't, that will attract people who also do not care about your worth or your value. The type of people that prey on those who don't see their own light. They want to hurt the angels that don't even know they have wings. Food for thought, I guess. You know, food for thought. You gotta protect yourself out here. Trust me, I'm speaking from experience. They got some real vultures out here. Alright? Like some real nasty, low down types that can't wait to find somebody that's at their lowest so they can exploit that for their own personal gain. You don't deserve that. If nobody else tells you, if no one else looks you in your eye and tells you that you do not deserve that mistreatment, I'm going to tell you. I may not be able to look you in your eye right now, but I'm telling you because it's true. You do not deserve any mistreatment that anyone gives you. Don't let them give it to you if you in that position. In the position to keep yourself safe, I mean, because I know that some people, they in situations where it's really not safe for them to speak up or talk back in any way, shape, or form. I get that. But if you're safe, if you feel ready, if you feel confident enough, if you're ready to stand on your own 2 feet and puff your chest out and say what you need to say, do it. It's your time. If you needed any type of sign, and I mean any, this is it. I'm saying it explicitly because it's easy to dismiss something if you don't know and it's like, oh, well, maybe this not it. Maybe this wasn't for me. I'm going to tell you right now, it's for you. You're welcome. Guess what? It's for you. This is an explicit, outright message. Ooh, I'm feeling the spirit. Hold up. It's time. The spirit is telling me to tell you, you listener, it is time. You do not need to hold back anymore. You do not need to be afraid. You are protected. You are loved. You are cared for. You have people in your corner. You do not need to be afraid. You do not need to be afraid to stand up on your own 2 feet. If you're worried about ending up by yourself, you're not going to be by yourself. If you're worried that you're not going to have nobody at the end of the day, that's just simply not true. It may feel like that for a little while because you're cutting out people that are toxic and don't respect you, nor do they have any intention to respect you. You're cutting that out of your life. Energy you don't need because you could do bad by yourself. Never forget that one. You do not need nobody help to do wrong because you could do it on your own. I didn't mean to get Dr. Seuss on you and rhyme, but it's true. You do not need anybody help to do any wrong, to do any bad. You got this. So yeah, you might feel lonely cutting out those people who do you dirty, do you wrong. Because, well, if that's all you have in your life, that's all you have in your life. But now you've made room. Don't even think about it as being lonely. You have now made room to bring positive people who see you, who are willing to understand you, who are willing to respect not only you but your boundaries. You have now made room for those people, your soul family. That's who you're inviting into your life. You have made the space for those people to come into your life. That's all. If anything, think about it like this. You're not losing anything. You have made the space so that you can potentially gain what is meant for you. If you with people, if you talking to people that only take from you and don't see your worth or your value, when you cut them off, you're not losing a damn thing at all. Know that right now. There is no loss in that. There's only room to grow in the best way. And you deserve that. You do. You deserve to grow and change and be happy. And as I'm saying this, I just know I'm talking to myself too. But I want you to hear me when I say this because I'm really speaking from my heart right now. I'm really speaking from my heart space because I need you to know your worth and your value and need you to know you don't need that. You don't need that type of toxicity in your life. You are so beautiful. You know that? You are so beautiful inside and out. That's why these people come to you. That's why these people are attracted to your light. They want to consume you and all the beauty that you are. Because God forbid you realize it. God forbid you realize how amazing you are. Because once you do, you're unstoppable. Can't nobody tell you nothing once you step into your power, once you step into your light, your greatness, your excellence. They can't do you nothing. They can't touch you. They can't do anything to you because you know who you are. And even if you don't know who you are, you know where you're going, you know where you're trying to be, and you know where you're not going back to, what you're not going back to, who you're not going back to. Because you finally see yourself for what you are, and that is valuable, important. Somebody. You are somebody. And nobody can take that from you unless you let them. At all. Don't let them take your joy. Don't let them take your light. Because they do that because they want you to be exactly where they are. They want you to be down in the gutter with them. They're not trying to pull themselves up. Because in truth, in a lot of ways, I would say the same thing to them. But it's their truth too. Then people that do wrong by others, they don't see their own light either. And because they don't see their own light, they need to go out of their way to make sure nobody else does. Essentially the mindset of, well, if I'm not happy, nobody can be. This world is bleak and dark and cruel and has done nothing but wrong to me. So why should I step forward and put good into it? I don't owe them nothing. And it's right, you don't owe nobody a damn thing. But what about what you owe to yourself? Because yeah, you say you don't care about how you make other people feel, but I know you feel that shit on the inside. You feel that in your heart. You do. You feel that in your spirit. Every time you try to break somebody else down, you only breaking down pieces of yourself. So you're really ruining two people trying to be evil and spiteful. Trying to ruin somebody else's day because you feel bad. Talking about people because you feel bad about you. I'm not saying I'm perfect because I'm not. I talk about somebody till the cows come home, especially if I feel like they are disrespectful to somebody. I'm really trying to watch my tongue. Listen, but I'm really trying to keep it cute. I talk about somebody. Like especially these right wing conservatives, they could get it in the day of the week. I don't care. I sure don't. I shouldn't be like that. I know. I should be better than that. But I'm only human. I'm only human. But I'm going to always try to be better. Because I really don't want to be on their level. I don't. I don't want anybody to be able to compare me to them. Because I want to be better than that. I am better than that. I choose to be better than that. And you could choose that too. You can choose greatness too. We can be great together. You don't have to turn nobody down so that you could get up. Ever. Like, there's this scarcity mindset that is instilled in us from a very early point in our lives and makes us believe that if they have, that means I don't. That isn't true. What is meant for you will find you. No one can take away what is already yours. If it's meant for you, it will find you. No one can take away what is already yours. And I mean that. I'm so serious. Like, I'm shaking right now. I'm just really feeling what I'm saying. Because you got to let that scarcity mindset go. You are not without. Though it'll feel like that. It will feel like it sometimes, like you really don't have it. You don't have the funds. You don't have the food. You don't have this. You don't have that. But it's always going to turn around. You can't give up. You cannot lose faith. You cannot lose hope. You got to keep going. You can't give up on yourself. Even when it feels like the whole world has given up on you, do not give up on yourself. I'm going to be real with you right now. I'm going to be so real with you right now. Just a couple days ago, I was ready to give it all up. And I do mean all of it. All the work I have put in, all of the relationships I've built, everything that I've worked so hard to obtain, I was ready to give it all up. Because that day, particularly, my soul was just tired. My soul was just done. And I just did not want to be here no more. I did not want to keep going because the work can be so draining, especially when some days you just feel like you by yourself. It don't matter what, it doesn't matter what's actually true. Sometimes you just feel alone. Sometimes you just feel like you don't have anybody despite what is actually true. And sometimes it's hard to get out there. I'll get to a certain point in the day. I'm not saying it like it's every day, but there's a point in a day where I'm like, dang, I really don't know if I can do this. But then I turn it right back around and I pull myself back up. There are some days I can't do that. Some days I go lower than what I was. I start at a low point and I just get lower and lower. Because sometimes you really can't see the light. You don't know where you're going. They say life is like a tunnel, but I don't know because the tunnel's just too damn small. Because with life, you'll see the light, right? But then you start getting all turned around and confused and lost, and then something calling you that shouldn't be calling you to come over there. And another thing is calling you from the other side. And then you swear you heard your name from right behind you. And isn't that so and so? A tunnel just not big enough for that. Life is like being in the woods or something. Like, there's just too much that just goes on for it to be just a tunnel. Back to what I was saying. I was done. And I was ready to give it all up. I was really at a breaking point. But I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I'm still here. I'm glad that I finally got the chance to sit down and record. Because again, like I've mentioned twice already, I didn't know what I was going to say. But I feel like I've said what needed to be said. I don't know who's going to hear this or when, but when it reaches you, know that it was meant for you. A lot of this feels like it was just a stream of consciousness, and I'm not even sure how much of this will make sense, but this was meant to be said. I could feel it in my spirit. I can. My spirit guides touch my heart so that I can speak to y'all and tell y'all what y'all need to hear and what I need to hear too, like I've mentioned before. This message not just for y'all, it's for me too. Especially with how I've been feeling lately and how out of control I've been feeling. I don't even think I talked about the care thing that much. Like, yeah, I've been avoiding. I've been very avoidant with the things I need to do. Been playing a lot of Minecraft, a lot of Sims. And like, yes, I was enjoying it, like genuinely enjoying the games I was playing and everything. But I immersed myself in those games because I was avoiding, because I was trying to get my mind off of me. And that's the last thing I should be doing. I've come so far and I really feel like I'm on the edge of a serious breakthrough. The last thing I need to be doing right now is distracting myself from me. I need to keep going. Of course, I need to take breaks. I need to rest because I am human. I need to take care of me in all of those ways, but I also need to keep doing that work. Yes, I need to rest. I need to make sure I'm good. Have a little fun, like playing Minecraft, The Sims, doing this, that, and the third. Whatever I want to do. But there's also stuff that I need to do so that I can keep growing and keep stepping into my power and stepping into my highest self, to my higher purpose, my highest purpose. There's a version of me that I'm meant to be. And every single day, I'm striving toward that because I know I deserve that. Because once again, it's already mine. I just got to take it. Can't nobody take away what's already for me. I am abundant. I just need to work toward that abundance. It's already mine. I just need to put the work in because nobody's going to hand me anything. It's not just going to be given to me. It's mine. I just need to get it. And guess what, boo? I'm going to get it because it's mine. And can't nobody take it from me unless I let them. Unless I let them get in my head. Unless I get in my own head. And I can't let that happen because, like I said, I'm trying to be my highest self. I'm trying to be my ultimate self. I can't do that if I'm letting Tom, Dick, and Harry be all up in my ear. I'm choosing me. I'm choosing me. And I hope that after listening to this, after getting to this point, that you choose you too. Please choose you. Because, again, one more time in case you didn't hear me, you are so beautiful. You are so important. You are somebody. And know that your worth is inherent simply because you exist. You have value because you exist. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to today's episode. I don't even know what to say. I I really feel like I wasn't here. I feel like I really had an out of body experience. That was it was good. It felt very cathartic, and I'm very glad that I chose to record. Whew, honey. Well, anyway, you can find me on most things at Oddly Cozy Cottage, except for Twitter. Twitter, you find me at Oddly Cottage because someone stole my name. Thank you again for being here, and I will see you in the next one.